Sedone, how you doing?
How you doing, pal?
I'm alright. Fancy a beer?
Yeah, I do actually. What have you got me? What's my choices?
You can have a Dream Factory Pale, a Union Hop, or a Mincassi Blonde.
Oh yeah, I do like a good blonde.
Yeah.
Get me, yeah. Even though my missus is dark, I like a bit of
How
change.
dark is she?
Well,
Shit,
as they say, the curtains match the drapes. Is that what they say?
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway.
She got a muff.
No, you don't know about my mum there. Right.
I'm gonna have a Paradise, but can I have a bottle?
Let's have a look. Ninkasi Blonde. There you go, pal.
Cheers, mate. Our guest can't have one. He's training tomorrow.
Yeah. Back in pre-season. So, what have you been up to this week?
Saturday beat a very good Blackpool side.
You beat Blackpool?
Yeah, 2-1.
You score?
I was on the bench, mate, so no.
Shock.
It's looking like that's going to be me for the rest of the season, to be fair.
Really?
But,
no, you're not going to be on bench. I thought last year you were a star player.
Yeah,
or is that just what you said?
It's what my dad said.
No, your dad said you're crap. You're
No,
going to be on bench this year?
yeah, I've not been fit. I've been injured still and trying to get my fitness back. But
What's your injury? Your ankle still?
Yeah, my ankle and my calf. So
Calf.
not happy about it, but
You do look like you've put a bit of terry on.
I have, mate. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is.
Yeah, like my missus. Yeah. My missus has got an excuse though. She eats a lot.
Um,
No, she's pregnant, by the way. Just in case she's listening.
So yeah, we beat Blackpool. Come on, first thing that happened, that Curtis Tilt just smashed me for no reason. The guy's an absolute monster as well.
Don't listen to the podcast, does he? You haven't called him on here, have
I
you?
don't know, but my fucking hip's bruised and all my side, so that was nice of him.
Did you have to come off?
No,
Ah,
are you mad?
okay.
And then we got beat off Stockport last night,
What score?
2-1.
I saw that. I saw that. How did Alex Curran play?
It looked alright when he come on. Yeah, come on about 60 minutes, but yeah, he looked the part.
How did Stockport look? Because they have to stay in that league, don't they, this year? I can't see them pushing on for promotion, but I think if they consolidate, stay in that league.
They didn't have. We kept the ball mainly, but we couldn't break them down, and that's always been what they've like. Well, they've always been like that. So that's what Jim Gammon's about, and
Jim Gammon?
that's what he's about. Gammon.
He's got a fried egg on his head. Jim Gammon.
But no, they were strong. Didn't let it get to my feet once, and yeah, to be fair, they beat us 2-1. So
How long did you play?
I got 60 last night. So
Did you?
yeah, I'm looking better. I'm feeling a bit sharper. But the two centre halves from Stockport are massive as well. So
Are they?
Yeah, they're decent.
You got nothing out of him?
I did. I tried, but it wasn't a game for a lone striker, shall we say?
So you're saying bad tactics by the gaffer?
Yeah, mate.
Oh no.
No, I'm only joking. Non-league Pep, and Parky, so he knows what he's doing.
Non-league Pep. I like it. Right, do you want to introduce our special guest?
I will do, yeah. He's just won League 2, and he's not going to like this weather at all. So, Ben Pringle.
To be fair, he's got sun cream on in here. Take a big light off, will you?
How's it been? All right.
Good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. You have to try and talk into the mic if you can.
No worries. We go down, right?
Yeah, mate.
Cheers for coming.
No worries.
Who's this?
Cheers for having
You've
me.
been in training or what?
Day off today, yeah. So,
Is it?
Yeah, back in tomorrow, like.
Right. Yeah.
Nice. So obviously you don't sound like you're from here. Where are you from?
Newcastle originally, but my accent's a bit messed up.
Yeah,
like.
it's the same as Fingers the other day. You can't really tell you've got an accent.
Can we get subtitles on a podcast? Can you do that?
Everyone says the same thing, literally like one line, and they're like, "You're not from Newcastle," so.
See, do you get abused for that?
Off the lads, yeah.
Well, I've obviously looked Whitley Bay, innit?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
What a night that out.
What a night out.
Yeah, how good is it?
Brilliant.
It's changed a lot, to be fair, but back in the day it used to be...
Used to be about 7 girls to one lad.
Yeah.
It did, didn't it?
Bank holiday Monday.
I still didn't pull.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Bank Holiday weekend was the weekend, weren't it?
Yeah, that was the spot, yeah. Outside.
I remember going up to Whitley Bay on a stag do, and first pub I went into at 10:30 in the morning, there was a woman on the bar, literally lap dancing with her boobs out, and a special thing was she could down a pint in under 2 seconds.
What, and she did it?
Yeah, she did it. She was well fit as well. Well, she was fit from the neck down. From the neck down, but then she just grabbed this pint, and obviously had like a DJ who was like side of the bar, and he's like, I can't remember her name. Let's just say Sharon.
Yeah.
Sharon.
She sounds like a Sharon, don't she?
She sounds like a Sharon. She got this pint off the bar and just necked it in less than 2 seconds.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I'd try and beat her, I think.
Yeah.
When I went Whitley Bay, we got a stripper for our mate whose birthday it was, and she was called Debbie Dumplings. I don't know if you've heard of her.
I might have done, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
No, I haven't really.
Debbie Dumplings.
Yeah, so we got it as like we said, oh, we got you a stripper, and he was buzzing, and then Debbie Dumplings turned up in her.
How big was she? Did she look like a dumpling?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like she was like falling over her tits as she come in. And she got dropped off by her daughter outside the club in a red Micra, and then she was just like popped in, did like 20 minutes for me mate, and then
her daughter picked her back
took 100 quid off me and got off.
Oh no!
So yeah, she was a belter. Anyway, sorry about that.
No, good to hear it.
But no, it's quite a nice place to live. Really,
yeah, like I say, it used to be back in the day. Everyone used to go out there quite a lot, but it's changed now. There's still a few pubs and that open, but it's quieting down. But they've just done the Spanish City up again, so.
Is that what it is? Spanish City,
Spanish
Riviera.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the big white building, like they've just renovated it and stuff.
Have they?
So yeah.
Lovely. Well, you started playing at it's quite a famous club, the Wallsend Boys Club. Is it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Who else has played there then?
I think. Well, no, Alan Shearer came through. Lee Clark, Peter Beardsley. I think those were there.
Yeah.
Just a couple of average players.
And Ben Pringle.
Yeah. They were the main three. Lee Novak, he's still playing Scunthorpe, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
He was a couple of years younger than me, so he's another one. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Seems like a good club to play for.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And then you moved to, where was it?
West Brom.
It was. I'm trying to think now. Yeah. It was Ilkeston. Did my YT. Wallsend, then YT at West Brom. Sorry, yeah.
Right.
So how did you go from obviously the North East?
Yeah.
I know it's so far down there.
Why have you not joined a Newcastle?
I mean, I did have trials with Newcastle when I was 13, 14, I think. For I can't remember now. Whatever reason, didn't happen. And then I think our boys' club just played West Brom in a friendly over a weekend, and then. That was kind of it.
So how old were you then? 15, 16-ish?
Yeah, 15. I left home when I was 15, yeah, to go down there. So
did you feel you was sort of the best player, or
at West Brom, or
at the boys' club, and then you thought, right, we've got a game against West Brom, I could have a chance here, or what?
Yeah, there was me and another lad, Stuart Nicholson, who's obviously from Newcastle as well. He ended up playing for West Brom.
Right.
Don't think you remember his name, to be fair.
No, I don't. To be honest.
What, and you both got signed off the back of that game?
Yeah, so we just played them, and then we got signed after that. Yeah.
So was you playing on the wing or top?
Yeah, left wing at the time. Well, it's still the same now, but I had a bit more pace and directness about me back
It
then.
happens to us all. Right?
Yeah.
It does.
So you was rapid at 15, you're saying?
I wouldn't say I was rapid. I think during the boys' club days, I was rapid. Like Sunday League, and then obviously when you're coming up against academy players,
you kind of think you've slowed up, don't you?
That's
But
what I mean.
Everyone else is just as fast as
That's
you.
it, yeah. So
I look like I'm fucking running backwards now. It's shocking. But
where was you at? Bolton.
Yeah.
Bolton. Yeah.
Can't mention Bolton. You have to cut that, Corey.
You can
Cut your tash as
you
well.
still bench it.
I'm joking.
Yeah. Wow. Terrible. If I know nobody can see it out there, but our like producer's got the worst naughty ash ever.
Oh, Will be buzzing with that. So you played this game and you must have thought, right, I've done a job there.
Yeah.
But did you take the piss out of the lad?
Yeah, I can't really remember much about it, but obviously I knew I'd had a good game, so it was Craig Shakespeare was my youth team manager, Michael Appleton as well.
Right.
So they obviously just made the call after about a week later, and that was it really. I think we got invited back down to train with them for a week. That was it. Right. So that was like the main, like get your head on it for a week kind of thing, and then played a couple of games at Lilleshall, and then after that, that was it.
And it was like, right, we'll have him.
Yeah, that was it.
What was your time like there then? So obviously, was West Brom were they a Prem?
Yeah, the year I went, they just got promoted from the Championship. Yeah, so obviously it was decent that I'd just signed and they were going.
Yeah, it's a great move, that, isn't it? To be
Brilliant.
fair, so you must have had to move down to West Brom.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like that
was a drawback.
I couldn't
Birmingham.
Proper struggled with it. Like when I first went, like
a lot of lads do though, because it's it is still quite early, 15, 16 to leave home, and obviously you live in digs, but like you live with other lads.
Yeah.
And it's some lads embrace it and they love it. Some lads, they can crumble, can't they? Like being on your own. And
I was probably that lad for the first 4 months. Like just wet blanket, like
missing home.
Couldn't deal with it.
You start sucking your thumb.
From school, I'd met this bird as well. Literally like 2 months before I'd gone. So my head was like.
Did she know you were signing for West Brom?
Yeah, that's probably why I met her then. To be fair,
I never looked at you ever before.
So yeah, that was another factor, but. I think it was only like the first 6 months, and then you kind of get your head around it, and everyone was in the same boat. Like you say, Diggs is. Everyone always looks back and says it was, good times and stuff. So that's definitely what it was.
How long was you with the bird for?
I stayed with it, to be fair, like long distance. Don't know what I was thinking there.
After a few years, you think, what?
Yeah, I look back on it now, and I just think I should have been in the digs, like having crack with the lads. But I still was, but not.
Was she coming down to the digs at the weekends?
Not really, no. Like, because obviously I was 15, so I didn't have a car, like nothing. So
she was out in Whitley Bay.
She was, yeah.
You might know that. Her last name's Dumpling. Oh yeah, but it is. It's one of them things, isn't it? Like, especially when you're 15, you think you're in love, don't you, for about 3 weeks, and then you move on.
I think if I was at home, it would have been completely different. But even if I hadn't met her, I'd have still struggled with the moving away part and stuff like that.
So, any lads in that same year who went on and made it?
A few lads got pros. No one who played, apart from Stu Nicholson. He doesn't play anymore. I think he's living in Australia now. But Luke Daniels, he was my age. I think he's at Brentford, goalkeeper at Brentford.
So obviously, like we speak about it all the time, but when you get a scholar or an apprenticeship in them days, it's obviously changed massively now to what the lads have to do now. But you do think at 16 you've made it, don't you? You think, right, that's it, I've made it as a footballer.
Yeah.
And it's, like I say, I'd probably say 5 out of 100 lads who get a scholar will make a career in the game.
Yeah.
And obviously you've proved it yourself, because you did your 2 years and you end up getting released. How did that set you back? How did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's hard. Like, you've got to. I think if you have the talent, you've also got to show that you can do the hard work. Like, obviously everyone knows a player who was unbelievable at football at the time but didn't work hard or didn't have the right mentality. Like, certainly when I was younger, that was kind of the thing that I struggled with, was like the confidence, like going into a big club like that.
To be fair, you're so young and so small that you just.
That's what I mean.
You
see the players now who are 16, 17 playing in the Premier League or at big clubs. So that was something I'd struggle with. But I remember my first, I think it was literally the second week I was there, kind of no one had really had a little conversation about the football etiquette, should we say, as in calling a manager gaffer or something like that, which I didn't have any clue about, to be honest.
What did you call him by his first name?
Well, I'd obviously gone in, did the first week, and Gary Megson was the manager at the time. Obviously, when I was 15, I was dyeing my hair like white, like.
Well, I have seen your picture.
Yeah, I've seen the picture. I was going to ask you about that.
When I seen the picture you put up, I was buzzing because there's some horrendous pictures on there.
They should have killed you off.
Yeah. I was thinking when I agreed to do it, please don't use a bad picture. But
I would say you
saved me then.
Bright blonde hair. You look like what's his name off Me, Myself and Irene.
Yeah, listen, I've had every nickname under the sun.
So we tweeted a picture of Shwan Jalal last week, and he texted us saying, "Please, can you use another one?"
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah, please, can you use a good one? That's bad, innit?
I was half thinking, should I do that? And then I thought,
use this one. He sent us one saying, "Use this one, please." So he sent his favourite
few filters on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you literally couldn't miss me, like when I'd obviously joined. And I remember there was one day we were kind of walking the opposite direction towards each other, but going the other way. And I've said, "All right, mate," to Gary Megson.
All right, mate.
Stinker.
And like, I think back now, I'm thinking, what are you doing? Like,
did he just not register in your head?
No one had told me. Like, no one had said you've got to call the manager gaffer. Like, I'm trying to think of other examples, but that was obviously the main one. Like, the youth team lads have to tidy stuff up, which I learned in the first week.
So how did he react?
Well, he said morning or afternoon, whatever he said. Literally 20 minutes later, there was Craig Shakespeare called a team meeting with Michael Appleton and Gary Megson. So all the lads were thinking, obviously, what's going on here? I certainly didn't think it was going to be about me. He's basically just come in and like done this speech and said, obviously the first team lads were in the other dressing room, so he was just like, I've got players in there who are worth £3 million, £2 million on X amount of money. He was like, they all treat me with respect. They all call me gaffer. If none of yous little fuckers want to mess around and not respect me or call me gaffer, then you'll be sent away like to wherever you came from.
Wow.
Walked out the door. Obviously I was bright red, thinking I may as well go home now. Like, I've been here 10 days. Like, that's the end of it. That's the end of it.
He could have handled that a bit better, though, couldn't he? Fucking hell. He could have just said he's been with us 10 days. He's come from Wall's End Boys Club.
I think
he's in football though. It's kind of you should know, innit? Like, people expect you just to know them kind of things, but
yeah, well, like you say,
just don't, do they?
I think nowadays, obviously, everyone knows the banter, but because I'd been in a Sunday League side up north, that doesn't really suppose matter where it's from, but no one kind of just give us the, do you know what I mean? So
how we meet? Is that what it was?
Yeah, so no,
but you should call him Pet.
Imagine.
How we Pet?
Mexican Pet.
Oh God! So that was it straight away. Shy, bright blonde haired lad.
Ginger lad.
Yeah.
Trying to hide it. You were thinking, shit, that's me done. Yeah, I'm never going to get a pro.
I was literally thinking I may as well go home now. So,
and it worked out, to be fair, because you went to Ilkeston after that.
Yeah, like obviously left West Brom, which, like you say, what we touched on before, it was obviously everyone wants to make it, but you got to be something special. So you don't half expect it, but it's reality, isn't it? Really, that most of the people will get released. So.
Was you devastated at the time? Did you think that was it?
No, I was kind of thinking, what am I going to do? But I was half buzzing that I could go back home and I wasn't so far away. So,
well, yeah. How come you went to Ilkeston then? Who chooses to stay in Birmingham?
Well,
I was buzzing I could go back home, so I went to Ilkeston.
The thing is, I wasn't actually staying down there. I was driving from Newcastle 4 times
to Ilkeston.
To Ilkeston, yeah.
I bet it was costing you more in petrol than you're being paid, wasn't it?
Honestly, I was on 100.
That's like Jordan at Alty now.
Yeah, it's only 10 minutes away.
I was on £125 a week. And like you say, the petrol. So it was Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But I was actually in Ibiza with my mates. Like, they were working out there, so I was doing that at the time. And I think my dad gave us a phone call. I had a phone call off a manager I used to play for, and he was like, will you come down and play for Ilkeston? This is what we'll give you for a year.
Yeah.
So I remember the phone call now, like I was getting ready to go wherever in Ibiza and be dad.
Was you going to be a shot girl?
So he just rang me and just said, listen, like, do this for a year. just do it for me, basically. Just
give it your all.
Give it one go, see where it takes you, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then
you can go
not that he was on me back, but I think he just wanted me to give it another go. So yeah, signed there, like driving down Tuesday, training for an hour, driving 4 hours back, driving back down Thursday.
That is grim.
Training, playing a game, driving 4 hours back. Same Saturday. Obviously the away games, if they were further north, I could meet there and that, but literally all my money was going. I was doing a little bit of coaching on the side, just like up there, but 125, so petrol would have been, and I was getting booked pretty much every week. Is
that still £7?
I think it was like £10 or whatever, but it was, say there's 2 games a week, it was pretty much every game, so there's £20 a week.
That's a tough league to play in as what was 18 year old?
18, 19, yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough league, and I try and tell it to like a lot of the players that I deal with. Like some of them see it as a step backwards going into non-league, and and they fight for their life to try and find another league club or an under 23s, and then they won't play for another year and they just get forgotten about.
Yeah.
There's so many players who drop into non-league, and like you say, you either grab it by the scruff of the neck and do well, or you fade away. And all credit to you. I say 5-6 hours driving, training.
I look back now and I think, well, any like what your reaction was there, like you thinking what you're doing, like, but
you've had an amazing season.
Yeah, that. Luckily, they put a decent team together. It was David Holdsworth, and then Paul Hurst, who's just took over at Scunthorpe, is it?
Yeah.
I think it is. And Rob Scott as well. He obviously used to play, so like they took over and they did it to the end of the season. So, I think it was
just playing against men will help you.
Yeah, that's it. Like
you'll probably get smashed every time you did a turn, but then you'll get used to getting, putting your body in the way and not getting smashed.
It like makes you. Do you know what I mean? Like you can play in youth team games or reserve games where it's more technical, but when you're playing camel led away in the middle of Feb, like some big guys coming through the back of you, like that's kind of what
it does. It like I mentioned before, it teaches you how to win a game. Like instead of just a training game where you get told fullbacks go wide, play to the midfield, come short, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It actually teaches you how to progress through a game. So whether you're winning, shut up shop, don't give the ball away, drop back into even a back five as a midfielder. I think it, like I say, it teaches you how to play. So then when you do make that step back up, do you know what I mean? Like you can actually do it for a first team rather than just a training game.
Yeah, definitely. Like the game management, like you say there, like say if you're winning a game, like even in those leagues, that's the motto. Like just get rid of it, like kill some time. And you see teams doing it now in the Premier League. Like if they're winning 1-0 with 2 minutes to go, it's the same message. Like
I think what lads have got to remember when they drop into non-league or they start playing for a first team at a club, that the club that they're playing for, the manager, it's his job, it's his lifeline on the line. If you give the ball away and give away a goal, do you know what I mean? He's got to pay his mortgage, he pays for his kids and stuff like that. So you can't be dicking around, if you will.
Yeah, well, like you say, obviously Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, like it's good wages, do you know what I mean? But the further down you go, it's like you say, it means more. As like you say, people's livelihoods are on the line and they've got to pay for things, and like you say, it's not just a mess around. Like,
so from Ilkeston, you went to Morpeth after that. Is that true?
I think no, it was Morpeth before. That was when I'd left West Brom.
Wikipedia again.
I get mixed up myself, to be honest. Like it was Morpeth first. That was non-league, and then I signed for Ilkeston, and then Ilkeston was Derby. Yeah.
So from Ilkeston, like we talked about before, Ilkeston have produced so many players like that have stepped up into the league. Like we mentioned Che Adams.
Che Adams, is he in the Prem now?
Has he just gone Birmingham to
Southampton? Yeah,
Southampton, is it right? Yeah.
As well,
so Ilkeston to Birmingham to, and then obviously yourself, you've gone from so you've had the setback, been released from West Brom, driving 6-7 hours to go to Ilkeston.
Getting a flight to Ilkeston.
Yeah, but then obviously you've had a brilliant season. You got Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And then ended up signing for Derby County, which is unheard of.
It's bonkers, that.
It's crazy. Like, and I say that to when I first.
It's all down to your dad, isn't it? Because really, obviously, you might have been a bigger success in Ibiza.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? You could have been,
no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I would back myself in Ibiza, but
definitely back yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's like I say, a few of the lads from Newcastle when I went from Ilkeston to Derby, they kind of did the same thing. We're coming down from Newcastle to play, like in that area, kind of thinking that it might happen.
They
do
could
you know
copy
what I mean?
you.
But I say to everyone all the time, like it's still crazy how it happened.
Yeah.
We had a good team at Ilkeston. Don't get me wrong. Like we had the best pitch in the division, good stadium, and that.
Yeah,
like,
it was nice. I
we
remember
had some
playing there. Yeah.
good players like who could have played higher level. But yeah, I think Andy Garner like obviously came and watched one of the games. My agent at the time was based in Derby, and I think he kind of just put it in and just said go and watch him, and they watched one game, and that was kind of it.
So let's just touch on the agent thing there, because a lot of lads, like everyone's got an agent now, haven't they?
Yeah.
But obviously, a lot of people don't realise like the importance of having a decent agent. And so, did you have the same one from when you was at West Brom, or did you drop into non-league and think, right, and I need someone to like who's got me back, who can actually open doors?
Yeah, no, I mean, when I was with West Brom, it was an agent who was based in Newcastle, but I didn't stay with him long. I kind of was there, and then I didn't. You know, at those ages, you don't, unless you're unbelievable, you don't really need an agent. So, like when I left West Brom, it was kind of the same thing, just chatting to people, and then I think Lee Novak had Mark Croft, who was my first agent, and he rang me up just one day and just said, "Would you fancy? Can I represent you?" Pretty much. He was a solicitor at the time, like a good solicitor, so he was doing that as well. I think he was just trying to build up like young players who he thought could do something. So I was with him. Yeah, he was my first agent who took me to Derby. Yeah.
Right, and then so how come you didn't stay with him then once you got your move?
I think the solicitor stuff obviously is a good job. That kind of was not getting heavy, but it was getting in the way, kind of.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We just kind of went our separate ways. I had a bit of a situation when I first went to Rotherham. I didn't play for 8 months. And I was kind of getting frustrated that there was nothing out there. He was doing his best, but he had the solicitor stuff on the side. So
getting in the way, sort of thing.
It was a difficult one because obviously we'd been to Derby together. But yeah, I mean, I still chat to him now. Like I think he's doing still a little bit of scouting now, but that was what happened.
So he obviously put a phone call into Derby. They come and watch you.
Yeah.
And then what? He basically just said, look, there's an offer on the table.
Well, he obviously, I'd played in the final of the Unibond South, what was it, or Unibond North. We got promoted, won the final. So I think I'd went out like 3 days in a row, and he rang me on the
good lad,
thinking I'd won the World Cup. Like he rang us on the Tuesday, and he was just like, "Listen, Derby want you to come down." I actually remember because I was hungover. I was just like, "Listen, don't ring me unless it's something coming up." And then he rang us back like in the afternoon. He's like, "Listen, there's a contract like from Derby. They want you to come down, have a chat, show you around, sign."
I'll just put this beer down.
So I was like, couldn't believe it.
Did you go down on that day as well?
I think it was like
you didn't have your medical, did you?
The next day, I think it was. We went down.
You must have put a phone call into your dad. Like saying, "Dad, remember a year ago when you dragged me back from Ibiza?"
That's it.
When I was dancing on that stage.
Yeah, well, I think he was more buzzing than I was, to be fair, kind of. But yeah, it was, like I say, still think about it now, just crazy. Like, so yeah, went down, signed a 1 year, was with the development squad.
What league was that in then?
They were in the Championship then.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, went in provisionally like as a under-21s player. And signed a 1 year deal. So
it says here you signed in the July,
Yeah.
So you'd have been what, 20, 21?
20 I was.
20.
Yeah.
And you made your debut against Peterborough in August.
Yeah.
So you're signing thinking you're going to be under 21, under 23 side.
Yeah.
Come start the season, you're coming on for the first team.
Yeah.
So you must have kicked on when you've gone in.
I just remember going in thinking, I didn't have a squad number or anything like that. Obviously the first team were in there, change room, 21s were in there, so I was with the 21s. I just remember thinking, like, you've got 1 year to see what happens, so just run your bollocks off basically.
Make sure you call the gaffer.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Who was your gaffer at the time?
Nigel Clough, yeah.
And who was like the main players there? Who was like the top striker? Or
So obviously Robbie Savage was there, Chris Commons.
Did you borrow a hair dye off Robbie?
He gave me some stick from here, no doubt about that.
How can you give him a stick?
Deflecting one,
yeah.
Is that what he were?
He was buzzing when you walked in. He was like, get in there.
Dean Leacock, obviously Miles Addison when he was there. They had a good squad, but I think they were in a bit of transition because they had a lot of lads on big wages, which obviously Nigel signed me, which changed my life, and he gave me that opportunity.
What did you go in as? Because obviously 125 quid a week at Ilkeston. Was it a big offer, or was it kind of, look, here's an half decent wage to come full time, and the better you do, the bigger money will come.
Yeah, no, it was I think he was just looking at it thinking, if I can sign 1, 2, 3 younger players who are hungry, like not going to be on big money, but we feel that we could use them in a way, then I'm going to do that. I think the year after, or 2 years, he kind of had the job of getting rid of all the big earners to cut the wage bill down before obviously they started back up again a few years ago. But yeah, like I say, it was
because at that age it's not about the money, is it?
No, I was literally, I'd have gone there for 50 quid extra. I was buzzing to go.
Probably would have gone there for free.
That's what I mean.
You was only getting 125, weren't you?
But yeah, I was just, like I say, the first couple of weeks I was just in training like a madman, running around, and then
was you always naturally fit anyway?
Yeah, could always run for a long distance. Like I wasn't, like a short sprinter, but like more continuous, like aerobic. But yeah, he pulled me in like 2 weeks before the start of the season. Like gave me a squad number and said you're in with the first team lads. Was on the bench, like I say, for the first game of the season, and then it was 1-1. I think it was Peterborough at home.
Peterborough, yeah.
1-1, he put me on for the last 12 minutes. I was thinking, what is going on? And then we ended up, I think it was Gary Teal scored in the last minute to win 2-1.
Oh, buzzing.
Brilliant.
So
what was your night out like then?
Well,
you must have got out.
I don't think I did, I was in that mindset of like, just don't do anything to mess up. Like, don't call anyone the wrong name. Don't go out. Like, I think we played Rotherham actually in the cup on the Tuesday.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you. I think you started.
Yeah, started that game. Yeah,
it's good that he can throw you on and then at 1-1, and he knows he can still win a game with you on there, isn't it?
Yeah,
as your first game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that was for like a first season. It was a really good season. Like I made a few appearances here and there.
Do you remember? So what kind of crowds were there then? What was your biggest crowd then?
Yeah, there was still.
It's got to be 20,000-30,000.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, so still saying like they're good fans, the Derby fans. Obviously, there's a lot of them, so they like to go every week and stuff. So
my mate's a Derby fan. I'm going to ask if he remembers.
Yeah, like I say, it was good for me personally. It was a good like breakthrough season. Played the last game against Cardiff, and then that was it. Yeah.
Then you obviously got you got an extension on your contract.
Yeah, so I think I signed 3 extensions that year.
Yeah.
Or in a year and a half. So
that's when you know you're doing something right, isn't it?
Well, I think obviously again like Nigel Clough, like he looked after me, sorted me right out.
So what was he like? Obviously, he's mega famous.
Yeah, he is.
Not just in his own right, but his dad and stuff. Could you see like a resemblance in how he managed?
Yeah, a little bits here and there. Yeah, but I think he was all for the team togetherness, and I think he enjoyed kind of like the non-league banter, if you know what I mean. Like,
right, yeah.
As opposed to like players being on big money, the egos, like all that kind of stuff, which, like I said, he had to kind of get, because they were just spending a lot of money and they weren't really doing much in the league, so they had to go a different way.
Did you have an initiation when you came in?
Yeah, I had, it was somewhere down south. I think it was Exeter or Plymouth. Again, I'd never really heard of that because I'd never done it before. So
you travelled away with the first team, and you stay overnight, don't you?
Yeah.
And usually in the hotel the night before, the lads who are new to the squad or have just come in, they have to do an initiation, don't they, in front of everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously I didn't know this until
it was just sprung.
Half an hour.
Worse if it's just sprung on you. You're bright red.
Half an hour before I was meant to do it, I thought, right, I'll pick a song. I think it was Wonderwall, Oasis, like original. I thought at least I know the words to it. Lee Croft went before me, did Oasis Wonderwall. So I was like, I'm gonna have to think of something else here.
Fog on the time.
I think it was another Oasis tune, but at the time I was like, yeah, buzzing because I know all the words. And then obviously I stood up there. I had like a ping pong bat as my microphone.
And was you as red as the bat?
Honestly, mate, it was one of the worst, probably the worst experience I've had in football, along with the Preston initiation, which was a bad one as well.
Yeah, I think
the Derby one was first because I kind of got the words going. And
what song was it? Do you remember?
Oasis, Half the World Away.
Oh yeah.
I thought lads will start singing on.
No.
Which they did with the other ones, by the way. First couple of lines.
Come on, help me.
First couple of lines.
I would like to leave
that's it.
this.
There you go. I'm going red, think
Sing it now.
Get down off the table.
But I started doing it, and then Robbie Savage was like, no, don't help him.
Oh,
absolutely killed me. Like,
what a bastard.
So I thought I was going to like lay an egg. I was going that red. Like, stood up there, bright blonde hair, 20 years old.
It's worse when you can just hear your own voice though. When everyone joins in, you've cracked it.
You can stop.
Yeah, you can stop it. Yeah.
Well,
they started doing it though. That was the thing. So I thought buzzing. They're joining in, and then he was like, no, leave him. Like,
but that's when you know they kind of like you if you're doing stuff like that too.
Cheers, Robert.
Yeah. So
had you pinched all his hair down?
Yeah, so funny.
So it just ended shit, did it?
Yeah, they got me down because I was that bad pretty much. I just ran out straight to the room.
So come on, Preston, let's have it. Talk us through that.
It wasn't as bad as that. There was a Drake song.
Oh, you didn't go like rapping and stuff?
No, it was, what was it called now?
I got named.
Just hold on.
Name one
Drizzy.
Just hold on.
No, it wasn't that one. It was.
That's all I want to know.
One Dance.
I need one dance.
Anyone in
Yeah, that's an hard one. Why did you pick that?
No, because I thought like again it was recent, so I thought if I can get the lads going, I'd do that one.
Right? Had you prepared and learnt all the words?
I knew the words anyway. So because obviously I like
Drake.
Yeah, I like Drake. So I knew the words, but for some stupid reason, I started like half. I thought if I can start the song halfway through the verse, then I'll come down quicker. So I didn't start the song at the start of the song.
Error.
So I like started off with a bit where it's like OT, never more, and it goes OT. Started it then. So like the lads like,
what are you doing?
What's he doing? Starting it through there. Obviously I was bright red again, blonde hair. So started it then, but I've jumped down because I was that bad. And
you haven't finished?
I didn't really finish. I was literally up there about 12 seconds, and then I've jumped down.
Oh no! You get dragged back up.
Greg Cunningham saved me because he started clapping. Then that got me down, but I went back to my table, and the chair that I was stood on was the chair that was at my table. So obviously I've gone back to the table to sit down. There's no chair. The lads are going absolutely mental, like howling and that. Again, just embarrassing.
Yeah, so you're not the smoothest character, are you?
With that kind of stuff, no, it's my worst nightmare.
Yeah. But you've had a decent run at Derby though. You've ended up you was there 3 years. Obviously extension after extension, and then you obviously I was out the team a little bit 2011 and went to Torquay.
Yeah. Probably sums up my
Another
career,
seaside
just
one.
random.
Well, that's right down the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah,
Torquay.
yeah, right on the course. Why have they not looked at your skin? Your fair weather skin.
They get you one of the caps with a flap at that.
Yeah, it was again like a random one. They just night before, it was the night of transfer deadline day, and
Because they were in League 2 at the time, weren't they?
yeah, Gary Crosby at Derby assistant had just basically said like they were down the bottom, relegation, so they couldn't, they didn't want to play the young players. They felt as though they had to go with experience to keep them up basically. So he said, you're not going to really be playing, so go to Torquay, get some games and come back. So I did that for like till the end of the season.
All right, yeah. It says you only went 19 days.
Is that what it said?
Is that true?
It was true at the time, yeah.
So, cool. What's
Go there to the end of the season.
Yeah,
19
go there
days.
to end of season.
Basically, I had.
Did you not enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed it, but
Was you doing a runner from a bird?
I went to Las Vegas for the first time with the lads the previous year, with a few of the Derby lads,
Right.
and we'd obviously booked to go again.
What? So you've right? I know what's coming. So you've cut your loan move short to go back to Vegas.
My thinking of the time was I spoke to Nigel Clough and I spoke to Gary Crosby, and they kind of said, if you want to come back, come back. If you want to stay, stay and do the loan. No real pressure to do either. Left it completely in my
Capable hands in your gambling hands for Vegas.
This was when Derby had they'd managed to. They were safe. They weren't going to get relegated.
Right.
So in my head, I was thinking, if I go back, then I might play for them, and I'd rather play for Derby in the Championship than, no offence or disrespect to League 2 or Torquay, than play in the league.
Well, that's a given. That no one's going to
League 2 playoff final. So, but also probably the main reason was I had Las Vegas booked for a week with the lads.
So that's the truth.
But yeah, like I say, I thought in my head, if no one's putting me under any pressure, then I can
go
back. Ideal scenario: go back, play a few games, go to Vegas with the lads. Then
if you was under no pressure, that's fine.
Yeah. So how did it work out? Did you come back and play a few games?
I basically came back. I was training with the youth team, and that was me done. Was told I'm free to leave Derby.
I've seen that. It didn't end well, did it?
No, it didn't. No.
So even though they'd said to you, no pressure. If you want to come back, you can come back. You've thought, right, I've got Vegas booked. I'll come back. Have they frowned upon it?
Well, they obviously did. Like I say, all joking aside, in my head, I was thinking, if I can come back. It wasn't like they were saying, Ben, we think you should stay at Torquay and play the games for them, finish your loan.
Yeah.
They were saying, if you want to come back, come back.
Yeah.
And that, in my head, I was thinking, well, I'd much rather, chatted to my dad about it, we'd much rather try and play for Derby in the Championship than play.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's.
So that was the main reason.
And it's obviously backfired.
Yeah, it didn't end well. So
they've just been trying to be nice, like, come back if you want.
Thinking he won't come back. He want to stay and play.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So yeah, it didn't end well.
So did they approach you about it? Did they speak to you about it? Did they make you know that was the reason?
No, I could just tell that he obviously didn't approve of me coming back. Which I understand. I was a young player. I should have.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I should have probably, if I knew I wasn't going to be staying at Derby or playing at Derby, I should have stayed and done my time at Torquay, which I would have done had someone told me I wasn't going to get an opportunity that season again for Derby. So
I suppose, like, as a player though, like, you just want to be. Like anything in life, you just want to be told the truth, don't you?
Yeah.
So if they'd pulled you to one side and said, look, you should stay, play games, probably, you're not going to get another deal at Derby. At least then you can act on it with the information. Yeah. But in your head, if you're thinking, brilliant, they're safe, I'll come back, play a few games, enjoy my end of season, and then
Yeah, so in your head you've made the right decision for you.
As
It's turned out to be the wrong decision.
Yeah, it turned out to be.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd asked me this now, when at my age now, I would have stayed and done the loan. But when I'm younger and
a little bit more naive. You
that's it. Yeah, like obviously I'd have done things differently had I done it again. But I mean, I left on goodish terms. Like I've spoke to Nigel and Gary Crosby since. Like it's
as they say on Love Island. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what
it is, isn't it?
That's it.
So you've ended up, you've signed for Rotherham.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit further up north, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Well, the manager at the time, Andy Scott, was
Rotherham Derby's not too far from each other, is it?
No, it wasn't. No, 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's not far.
Andy Scott was the manager. He was Rob Scott's brother, who was obviously my manager at Ilkeston.
Right.
So that's where the recommendation came from. So.
How old are you now? 24, 25? 24
23, 24,
yeah.
Yeah.
So still quite young.
Yeah, I think...
Got quite a lot of games in the Championship under your belt.
Yeah. And I still had a year left at Derby. That was the thing.
So did they pay you up?
No, they basically said, like, will you let you go for free if, obviously, there's no...
Right.
Which, looking back again now, if there was a young player my age at that time, I'd be saying, you've got a year left at a Championship club. You shouldn't just go out on loan. You shouldn't be doing anything that you don't want to be doing, basically.
Well, we said this last week. Would you rather play or not? I don't.
Yeah, but when you've got, like, say, when you've got a year left at a Championship club, it's a big decision just because one manager doesn't want you anymore. It's a big decision to say, right, okay, I'll walk away. But then on the like I say on the other side of it, you think, well, do I want to just be on loan or just sit
under 21?
Yeah,
well, I think
sit on the bench for a full year.
It would look better, obviously, being on loan from a Championship team, and that's what I would advise again if the situation came up. But probably, like you say, part of me wanted to actually play as well, so I thought I would go. So yeah, I went.
That's the road I would advise for players if you can stay assigned to a Championship club, and you could have gone to a Rotherham or something on loan.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that would have been the better option, like a season-long loan, something like that. And then you're still tied to that Championship club. So when it comes to the end of it, you know, you'll probably get a bigger fee and a bigger wage because you're coming from a Championship club. But
that's what I mean. And even
it's just all experience, isn't it?
Yeah, like even in myself, like I thought I should be, because I'd played quite a few games in the Championship by then. I thought I should at least just drop to League One. Do you know what I mean? Going to then League Two was, but yeah, that's the way it went, I guess.
So how was Rotherham? How did you find that?
First year was tough.
What, breaking in?
No,
the place.
Yeah, there was the stadium was at Don Valley still for the first year, which worked well because I didn't play anyway. So. I'd signed in obviously the July, and my first appearance was in the league. I think it was like March.
Right. So why did you know why that was? Did you have any idea?
Played the pre-season games. Played every minute of pre-season game. Came to the first game of the season. I was on the bench.
Did they sign someone? Or
no, it was a pretty similar team. I think he obviously had his reasons why he didn't like me, or for whatever reason didn't want to play me. I think I went through a stage where I had about 4 weeks without a day off.
Jeez.
Just dragging you in every day?
No, he wasn't dragging me in. I think he obviously didn't like me for whatever reason at the time. I can't remember, but once I'd kind of threw my toys out the pram, I thought I've got to make a go of it. So I just thought I'm going to do everything I can to try. So he's got no excuse as to why he can't put me in. So yeah, I did that. Did the month.
So did you actually have a fallout with him?
No. It was. I don't. Like I say, to this day, I don't really know what. Which is fair enough. Like, managers sign players and then they change their mind. It happens all the time. Like, it's football. So
I think that, like, some people don't realise, to be a top footballer, a lot of it, you've got to have that really strong mentality as well. You can't take things personal. You can't do like football can change so quickly. You can be out the team, training with the youth team, and then a week later you know, he sees something in training, pulls you back into squad, and then 2 weeks later you can be his favourite again. It's just such a strange life, innit?
Which again, I was still young. I was kind of like trying to learn all the industry, I guess. So yes, like I say, I had a bit of a couple of weeks where I was moping about whatever, and then thought, right, I'll just do everything I can. And then obviously I'd signed 2 years, so after that I didn't give up. I was still going in training, but I just got to the point where I was like, he's not going to pick me, so I wasn't travelling with the team. I didn't have to report for the games. I had every weekend off, had every Wednesday off.
That sounds like your dream job. Being paid to train.
To Rotherham.
Jordan to Rotherham.
It was a weird situation. So,
but that's you train to play, don't you?
Yeah.
And if you're not
being
doing that,
a footballer, if you have nothing to play for at the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't like that myself.
Yeah, no, it was hard. Like Paul Warren, obviously the Rotherham manager now, he was fitness coach, so he would just spend days with me, like.
That would be my worst nightmare.
Just running, like. But to be fair, I just said, like, I'm not really. But obviously, I want to touch the ball, but it's more my fitness, like, I need to keep on top of. So.
So did you not look to get out on loan, play games?
Well, they come to the end of January, and we'd kind of agreed that they would pay me up to go.
So you thought you had no chance getting in the team. You thought you was off.
I was at the point there where I was just like, do you know what, I need to
leave.
We'd agreed to pay up, and then that was it. Yeah, I was coming on Monday, signed the pay up, and I remember going in on the Monday, thinking, right, see what happens. Sits me down, manager says, I want you to be involved on Saturday. I want you to play.
That's exactly what I've just been on about. So you're literally an hour away from leaving the club, being paid up.
I was going in with a pen to sign, saying, you pay me up, I'm gone. And I walked in. I still remember it now, like, just...
You walked in about to give him a bit?
No, not even that. I was, like, past the point. I was just like, do you know what, like, I've given my best, like, I'm going to move on to something else, and was going in to sign, and then he was just like, listen, I think he was under a bit of a pressure because they needed to get... They were like in and around the playoffs, and he was just like, I want you to be involved on Saturday. Like,
what, starting?
On the bench.
Right.
It says you came on, and then you never really looked back.
Yeah. I think I came on at half time, and I scored after 4 minutes. Or was it? Again.
Did you not think about doing like a run over to the manager, like sliding on your knees in front of him?
I remember it now, like it was a barnet away.
It's pointing at your shirt.
That's what I mean. There were so many things going through my head, but then I thought I was playing again. So do you know,
was it respectful?
Was it not like a big relief? Did your head not just go?
Yeah. I was buzzing, but at the same time, like when I came in to sign the payoff, it was like hard. Bearing in mind everything I'd just been through for the last 6 months, but that's the industry. You gotta
So you just kicked on then till the end of the season?
Yeah, so then I played like the couple of games after that, started the games, played well, and then he got sacked.
Was this where man of the match Ben Pringle was?
No, that was the following season, I think.
Right.
And then Steve Evans, they appointed Steve Evans. I think we could have tried to get to the playoffs, but we were leaving it late. Time was running out basically, so we just missed out on the playoffs, and then obviously we came back in the following season. So
we've touched on Steve Evans before on another podcast. How did you find him? A few have actually had him as manager. I
think when he first came in, everyone was like quite scared of him because he'd been at Crawley, where everyone sees him on the touchline shouting and swearing, and he's an intimidating guy if you're not inside with him, do you know what I mean, on a regular basis. So everyone was kind of like, obviously training went up a notch, like people were getting onto each other, all that kind of stuff. luckily, he loved me like from the first minute. Which
He will do. You're a Pringle.
I wouldn't be waiting for that one.
Honestly, about 3 days. I'm waiting for that.
That is a belter.
Oh, sorry. Go on. Carry on.
Go on.
Yeah, so he loved me from the start, and like
For the first pop.
I should probably can't stop. I knew it was coming out at some point.
Very good, very good.
Go on. So I loved you because the next season you guys were flying, weren't you?
Yeah, so obviously we got promoted that season, and I played pretty much every game.
And you got player of the season, didn't you?
I can't remember, to be honest.
This. Or did you get in? Let me have a look.
That was the year after, yeah.
Team of the year.
Team of the year, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but talk me through this man of the match, because someone's asked it on the Twitter. I need to know what it's about.
Talk to me about it.
I can't remember if it was League 2 or League 1, but I think it was League 2. It was pre-season, then that carried on into like a couple of the games of the season. But I just I got man of the match like 3 games in a row. I think 3 or 4 games in a row. Obviously, it was somebody picking the man of the match. So
your dad,
Steve Evans, I think, and the fans like weren't happy that I was getting man of the match.
So they announced that he was man of the match for like the 4th time in a row, and the fans started booing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's harsh.
Yeah. Which I kind of understand. Like,
why'd you have a stinker as well?
No, like don't get us wrong, I was decent. Like,
he was man of the match. Should you have got it?
Probably 2 or 3 times out of the 4. Then yeah, like 4 in a row is quite excessive. Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I used to get tweets like saying like you weren't man of the match today.
Fans are horrible, aren't they? That'll be your own fans as well, won't it?
Yeah, no, Rotherham fans.
Yeah.
Like, as great as they were, like, I'm thinking, alright, what do you want me to do? Not run around or...
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, alright, I'll be shit next week.
Sorry, next few games I'll give ball away a couple of times just to make sure I don't get it. Apologies.
I was half thinking, like, do I go and speak to, like, the person on the
announcer,
microphone and just say, listen, even if it is, just give it to someone else, but... Yeah, like
fans.
Give it to one of these shit lads. I know I'm too good for these lot.
Yeah, funny.
Oh, but so what a turnaround though. Like I said, you never know in football, and I say it time and time again. Sometimes you've just got to be mentally strong and hang around.
Just keep going. You said a player can hang around and then get his chance.
Yeah, and then get a career off the back of it. Some players are so. I'm going to say it. Some players are so mad-arse and give up so quickly.
Yeah.
And it's just an opinion. It's one person's opinion. Like I say, you weren't in favour. He chucked you back in. 2 games later, he's sacked.
Yeah.
So you've got a brand new start anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But 2 weeks earlier, you could have been out the door, and then he gets sacked anyway. And that's the thing with football. Like, people make decisions on people's lives and people's contracts so quickly nowadays.
Yeah.
And I feel like I think lads have got to be mentally strong and, like I say, just hang in there and prove everyone wrong.
It is tough. Like you can't predict the future, so it could turn out to be good, but you've just got to ride it, haven't you? You just got to go with it. And
I think you see Sky Sports News of transfers all the time, but you just see the player leaving or the player going somewhere else, but you don't think about like everything in the background. They might have been renting a place 2 hours away from where they're training. They might have kids. They might have a wife, or they might have all kinds.
You don't think about that.
No one realises what's going on in the background.
What people don't realise as well, that player, for some reason or another, like players have mentioned it before, they could have been training with the kids for like the last 6-7 weeks. They could have been outcast. They could have been in on a Sunday. You're training with the youth team, and it does get like that.
Yeah.
When a manager or the club want you gone for whatever reason, you can't. It's like you literally just get outcast, can't you? Until you agree. Right. Okay. I'm fed up.
Yeah. Right.
I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
But sometimes if you just dig your heels in, no, I'm not leaving. I'm going to fight for my place. Within a month, things can just, like I say, just totally change again.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you've ended up, obviously, got promoted with Big Steve.
Yeah.
Year after, you've ended up Team of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah. After you just signed a new 2.5 year deal.
Yeah.
With Rotherham, and then you had an offer from. I think you scored against Millwall.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks later, they came in for you.
Yeah. So obviously.
Which, like, no disrespect to Rotherham, because they're a massive club, but Millwall are a massive club as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, but it's a London club. Was that part of your decision as well?
It was a weird one because I'd obviously signed a new deal like when we were in League 2, I think it was, and then we'd obviously got promoted again from League 1. That was the Team of the Year season, so we were in the Championship. That was the year that my contract was running out at Rotherham, so I was playing the Championship season knowing that I was free at the end of it.
But was you still on a League 2 wage?
No, like it had gone
up in increments.
It was
being promoted.
It was good money, like good bonuses. Obviously, the 2 promotions. So, but I was going into that Championship season knowing that I was out of contract.
Which gives you loads of options, doesn't it?
Gives you loads of options, but I was happy there, and I would have signed again. They made a few big signings for Rotherham that year where they paid players like the most players had been played that season, obviously to try and stay in the division. So I was happy there. Like obviously I wanted to stay, and it was January that the bid came in.
Can you remember what it were?
Couple $100,000, I think.
It's not bad.
It's a lot, that, isn't it?
But that summer after the League 1 season, they rejected, I think it was 3 bids from Brentford at the time. So I was thinking, oh well, they're obviously going to try and give me a new contract to tie me down. So whatever reason that didn't happen. It come to January and Big Steve rang us, and he was just like, listen, like we have an offer from Millwall. Bearing in mind, Rotherham were 18th at the time. They were 3 places above Millwall. Millwall were bottom or second bottom.
Right. Oh wow.
They were not gone, but they were in a worse situation than Rotherham. And then Steve was trying to persuade me to sign for Millwall. So they were obviously trying to cash in on me, but they hadn't actually offered me a deal.
Right. So
I was thinking, we've just been promoted twice, like all of that, like rejected bids before, thought they were going to sort me out a new deal, didn't offer me one until, well, they didn't offer me one. Did you have to turn that offer down to try and get a new deal at Rotherham? Well, I thought if I turn it down, I'm going to play till the end of the season and then I'm a free. And if Rotherham offer me a contract in the meantime, then buzzing, because that's where I want to stay. Yeah. But it was funny because Steve Evans was trying to persuade, saying it's a big club, it's London.
I wonder why though, when you've been playing so well, obviously, an integral part of the team, just got in Team of the Year, 2 promotions.
But they think it was a money factor?
Money, didn't they? Yeah. The funny thing was Millwall were, like I say, if they were 8th, 9th, 10th, I'd have gone. Yeah. But because they were below Rotherham in the table,
they get relegated as well?
They got relegated in the end. So I was just thought it was funny.
Cheers, Steve. Good advice.
They were trying to obviously.
What you want to do is go there.
What you want to do is build a career in League 1 next season and get yourself off.
Yeah. So it was a bit strange. Like I say, they were trying to cash in without actually trying to keep me. So I ran the contract down to the end of the season, hoping that something would come up.
Why would they not just? Like, I'm thinking from a chairman's point of view here. Why would they not offer you a new deal and then ask for more money for you?
Well, I think they'd heard of teams coming in, bigger teams who were interested, and I don't know whether they thought we can't compete with that or whatever. But they'd obviously handed out a few good contracts at the start of the season to Championship-proven players, and I
might not have had the money there to offer you.
Well, I was saying, I think it was me and Craig Morgan at the time, we were kind of saying, we're not asking for 20 grand a week, we just want to be rewarded and on
19
and on,
Gaffer, 19
a fair wage for the level that we were playing at and what we'd done. So
comes to the end of the season, did you leave on a free then?
So I left on a free,
to
Fulham, like
which is a massive club.
So
what was they in then?
Championship,
yeah. So
What line?
That's Steve Evans.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to go Millwall. He's not having it.
Yeah, which obviously speaks for itself, which was an unbelievable move.
Yeah. So obviously your wage increase, I expect, from Rotherham to Fulham must have been, especially they can get you on a free, so they don't have to pay anything for it.
That's done you a world of good there.
Oh, it must,
just take a punt on you.
Yeah,
wages.
Must have triple your wage then.
Yeah, well,
to a massive club as well.
Like I say, it obviously works out, but first and foremost, I was kind of saying I'm happy to stay at Rotherham. If you offer me, or even just try and persuade me that you want me to stay, but they didn't.
I'm yours, just give me something now.
Just tickle me a little bit, kiss the back of my neck, I'm in.
That's it.
And they weren't doing nothing for you.
It literally came like a week after the season had finished, and it was kind of lower what the players who they'd signed, so I thought, do you know what, there's got to be a kind of self-respect valuation. Like from my point of view, I thought.
So did you have an agent working for you then?
Yeah.
Talking to different clubs?
Yeah, so there was a few clubs like round about that time who were kind of sniffing around, and
is there, obviously we'll go into it because there's not much about how it worked out at Fulham. Do you look back now and regret going to Fulham just because of the playing side? Was there another club that was interested that you thought, shit, I should have gone for that one instead?
Yeah, I think there was always links with Leeds and Bolton, I think, at the time, who were both interested, but
both in the Championship.
Yeah, both in the Championship. Yeah, obviously both two massive teams as well. But for me, Fulham that's a big move. Like that's one that excited me. And as someone in my position, like you ask anyone, you can't, you're not turning them down basically on a free transfer. So I don't regret it at all. Like it was something I wanted to do financially. It was something that was way beneficial. They had 4 managers in 5 months in my first 6 months that I was there.
Wow.
Who was there?
So the first one was Kit Simmons. It was Peter Grant. He was the 21s manager. Got promoted when Kit left. It was then Stuart Gray, used to be at Sheffield Wednesday. He came down with Peter Grant, and then Peter Grant went back down to the 21s. Stuart Gray was assistant and
got the job.
Jukanovic got the job then.
He's quite good with names, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Who did we have on last week who couldn't remember his...
I can't remember his name.
He literally just couldn't remember his first ever manager in pro football. I was like, what? How do you not know that?
Who was it? Schwan? Or was it Nardiello?
Why do you always do that when he says it's Schwan? Schwan.
Bit of an accent on there as well.
Try and be a little bit posh, don't I? Try and get rid of my Burnley roots.
So Fulham, back to Fulham. Sorry.
Yeah, so you haven't really you haven't really played much, have you?
I started the season well. Played the first 12 games, scored 2 goals, I think. One was against Rotherham at Rotherham. Which didn't really go
Did you give it bees again?
No.
Was you respectful when you scored? Did you cheer or did you
dumbing it down?
No. I did celebrate. It was right in the Fulham corner as well, so I ran off into that corner, but I wasn't running in front of the Rotherham fans.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you didn't do a Adebayor?
Right down the red.
You've got to celebrate that.
Yeah,
you have to, man.
Yeah.
So that was. And then, like I say, that's they were in and around the playoffs, but there was a lot of expectation on Fulham that they should be winning the league. So, I think we were about 13, 14, not miles away, but the club obviously thought it was the right thing to do in getting rid of Kit. So, like I say, then after that, played a few games under Peter Grant, wasn't in the squad. Stuart Gray came in. Same kind of thing in and around it, and then Jukanovic came in. And
I bet you was thinking, when he got sacked, Kit, I bet you was thinking, shit, new manager. And then you're not playing there. A new manager comes in a month later and you're thinking, buzzing new manager. Yeah. So it's just what
such a roller coaster, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't that. It was more, because obviously it's literally the best place to live in London.
Yeah.
Location-wise, I was in a hotel at the time, trying to look for places to live. Then the managers
changed. You have a missus as well?
She came down, so she was living in the hotel with me at the time, which
that's class living or not. I think I'd like that.
Yeah, I did. House. But they obviously, I think it was 3 months I got that I was in the hotel to try and find somewhere to live. So, like say, back to what you were saying about not knowing what's in the background, like that was trying to find somewhere to live while there was 3 or 4 managers going on trying to impress. Like obviously you lived in London, so.
And then when you get out of the team as well, like you must have in the back of your mind, fuck it, like what's the point of me spending however hundreds of thousands trying to get a house if I'm not in the side? I might be gone.
Well, the thing I was looking at it was to rent down there is like a lot of money,
ridiculous,
and I couldn't justify. Bearing in mind I was at Ilkeston on 125 quid a week, I couldn't justify paying like X amount for a property in London.
So what was it, like a 2-bed down there would be?
A couple of grand.
It's frightening.
So how many bedrooms did the caravan have that you've got?
Harry Potter covered under the stairs.
Lived on the Thames in one of them little barges.
If you went to Burnley, you could have got an house, a mansion for like £3 a month.
You could have bought Burnley for that.
So that was a factor. Like it was trying to find somewhere to live. At the same time, kind of thinking, am I going to be here for the duration? So.
You've ended up going. So January's come. You've had 4 managers. You're not in the side by this time.
Yeah.
You go on loan to Ipswich.
Yeah.
Which is miles away again.
It loves travelling.
Is it West Coast?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is and it isn't. Like it's literally an hour from Ipswich to London, Liverpool Street.
Right.
But to drive it's about an hour 45. Like for
that
crossing. Like it's a bit of a nightmare to get to. But
so you stayed where you were in London and just commuted.
By that time, I'd bought a flat.
I suppose an hour and a half. It's now to you, that is it? Being a 5-hour drive.
That's round trip. Yeah. I was staying in a hotel in Ipswich again, coming back on my days off. And I really enjoyed the time. Like the loan at Ipswich, they were like 7th, 8th, 9th, so they were higher up than Fulham, trying to get into the playoffs. Which,
see, this is what I find odd as well. Like, how can you not get in the Fulham side, who were 18th, 19th, or whatever? Yeah. You go on loan to someone in the same division who's 10 places above you, and you go and play and do well. It's just,
that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but it is literally, like I've said about opinions and how one player just fits into a side.
Yeah. There was a lot going on at Fulham that year, like managers, players, like off the field stuff. Like there was a lot of things kind of going on, but I think when I went to Ipswich, Mick McCarthy was like more my style, like 4-4-2.
What was he like? Because from the outset, he just looks...
He's such a good guy.
Yeah, it looks like a class guy. He looks hard as nails.
Yeah, he's top man. Like everyone who mentions him, talks about him, says the same thing. So direct, so honest.
Yeah.
Straight to the point. Tells it to the face.
I think he will love a player who's just honest and gives it his all.
Yeah.
I can't see him like any...
Yeah.
Surely you stop you dyeing your hair. I can't see him being a big fan of...
Get that off now.
I was in like...
Rinse that out.
It wasn't long, it was short, but I was still dyeing it, like...
Right.
Where's he from? He's got like a... What accent has he got, Mick McCarthy?
Yorkshire, isn't it?
Yeah. Is he that one? He seems like that sort of...
You want to do it? You want to
give it a go? Then, yeah.
Go on, give it us.
Every accent that I do just sounds Asian. Jordinho.
Sedoni.
What have you been up to, pal?
Not a lot, mate, but looks like we've got a few beers here.
Surrounded by beers at 10:30 in the morning. I feel like I'm on holiday. And you've got a vest on. Well, any podcast listeners need to sign up to beer52.com/trials to try all these different beers.
They're free, so I don't get why you wouldn't.
It's only cost you for the package, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Postage and package, and that's it. Which
$4.95. You get a Ninkasi Blanche.
I've got a Ninkasi Blonde here.
Have you?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
What's she like?
Blonde. I don't know, but I had one yesterday. It was nice.
Yeah.
First blonde I've had in a while.
Got a Rita Ora, Hazy Heart.
Well, let's have a look at these.
Guess what else you throw in? Beef jerky.
I love a bit of beef jerky. Do you know why? It's full of protein.
Is it?
Yeah. It's good for...
it's not for me, that stuff.
No. You need to buy some arms first to go with that vest.
So what is it? What's the deal?
It is beer52.com/trials, and you can order, I think it's 25 quid's worth of beer for literally the postage, which is like £4.
It's a no-brainer.
No brainer for me. Count me in.
Thank us later.
Cheers, guys. So, Mick McCarthy played for Ipswich.
Yeah.
How long was you there for?
January till the end of the season.
Right, and then end of that season, did you think about signing for Ipswich? Was there an offer?
There wasn't an offer as such. Like, they were interested, but it wasn't kind of a yes, we definitely want to give you something. So I took that as what it was and went back to Fulham. Obviously, I still had a year or two left.
Then Preston came in,
and then Preston came in. That was a weird one because I was literally going up to. There was talks about Rangers, quite strong links with Rangers, like, right. And spoke to the guy on the phone, like the guy who was there at the time, and he was just like, "Listen, we want to sign you." Like, was saying all the right things. I was on holiday at the time, come back up, and I was obviously buzzing that I was potentially going to go there, and then for whatever reason, it didn't happen.
I imagine that.
I know.
Brilliant.
I was good. I was good. Like,
carrot,
I was good. To be honest.
You can't say that.
What?
You can't say that. Because he's got ginger hair.
He's trying to act surprised. Like,
he knew what he was doing then, trying to dangle a carrot. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So.
Sounds special guest here.
So I was a bit gutted about that, to be honest. And then, like, a week later, Preston came in. So, signed there, which I was obviously still in the Championship, so it was a good move.
Still a big club.
Yeah, massive. Yeah,
massive club, Preston. Yeah,
they've done well over the last few years. Yeah.
So how have you found your time there?
Well, I think I signed 3 years and played 10 games. So, again,
not very well. It's not ideal, is it?
It's just weird more than anything.
Yeah.
I played the first few games, was out injured a few, and then we signed Aidan McGeady, which. That was the end of me, pretty much. And they had Callum Robinson at the time, who's obviously just gone to Sheffield United. So they were the two wingers, which basically ended my Preston career. But on the flip side, I think I didn't.
On the flip side, you did end up going to Grimsby on loan.
Hey!
We've got a lot of Grimsby fans out there.
Yeah.
How was Grimsby?
It was an experience, yeah. It was, obviously they helped me at the time because I was injured at Preston. Like, this was the third year at Preston. I'd been out injured.
So what league were they in then?
They were in the League 2. This was only last season, right. Yeah. So
yeah, you supposedly went on a season-long loan, but then it got cut short.
Yeah.
And then you ended up going to Tranmere.
Yeah.
So how did you find Mickey Mellon?
Yeah, it's similar to Steve Evans in a way, like. Straight to the point, like, honest, hard-working, like, basically gives it to you when he needs to give it, basically.
See, he was my best ever manager, just because he was straight like that. But I found he also had like a decent side as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's changed since he went to Tranmere and stuff like that, but he was brilliant with us. He would not let you rest on your morals. Like, how if you were doing brilliant, he push you harder. If you were doing crap, he push you harder. He just like that all the time.
That was kind of summed me up. Like, at Tranmere, obviously, like, did well when I went there, but like, say, similar to Steve Evans, like, if he thought I was coasting, he'd give me a kick up the arse, basically.
Yeah.
And even when I was doing well, he was kind of like saying you can do more, basically. Which, for my personality, that's what I need. I think.
That what you need? Yeah. Say some lads need a kick up the arse. Some lads need an arm around the shoulder, don't they? And say, "Oh, you're the best player on the pitch" and stuff like that. But I think obviously where you've played all your career, I know with Mickey, he's probably thinking, right, this lad's better than anybody else we've got. I need to keep him at the top of his game.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, and we had success, like getting promoted at Wembley at the end of last season.
But that was a good day.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I just don't like playing on that pitch. Like, obviously the experience.
Sols, you played there before, yeah.
Well, I was obviously
Wembley. I don't really like playing on Wembley much.
It's not. Obviously,
I'd rather play at Torquay.
Ilkeston. It's a good pitch, to be fair, but yeah, it was more the the occasion. Do you know what I mean? Like, just tires you out. Like,
so why don't you like the pitch? Because how big it is.
Not the pitch, more the occasion and how big it is
and how warm it is.
Exactly. And
it's always on.
For me, especially, like, that's not ideal at all.
Close the roof, please.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Just takes it out of you. Takes literally every last bit you've got. It takes it out of you. So, but obviously, it's unbelievable playing there. The stadium's.
I watched it a few times last season. Because I did a little bit of commentary for BBC, so we used to do a lot of the Bury games.
Yeah.
So I saw you against Bury when Bury won.
Yeah, when they got promoted.
Yeah, when they got promoted, and then obviously you guys went on and won the playoffs, didn't you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So what do you think about Norwood? Is it Norwood?
Which one?
Tranmere.
Yeah.
Just got his move, hasn't he?
Yeah, nice.
How do you?
Very good.
Yeah, how did you enjoy playing with him?
Yeah, obviously he had an unbelievable season last season, and I said it before. He's a finisher, like proper finisher, as in any type of scenario you put him in, he'll
ruthless.
9 times out of 10.
I just thought his energy, like he'd just never give a defender a second rest, and he was quite intelligent with his runs as well, because he a lot of the time played as a lone striker, didn't he?
Yeah.
With Connor Jennings just off him.
Yeah.
But he would just stretch the defence, and it just allowed everybody else to
the space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he runs his socks off. To be fair,
he does.
As well as score the goals, obviously.
So what? Another one of your players though that you played with, McNulty.
Yeah.
What's the best way to deal with him? Because I've got to play against him first game of the season.
I could.
For York, he's gone to York.
Yeah.
Me and him once had a fight in the dressing room.
Did you?
Yeah, full on fight.
Why are you picking on him?
He picked on me, to be honest.
Well, you can pick on anyone.
Yeah. It was in the semi-finals of the playoffs. 5-0 down at half time, and he had a go at me when I came in for missing a chance. I said, "You fucking joking? It's 5-0. You play centre half."
Would have been 5-1.
Yeah, it's the same again, just deflecting. Do you know what I mean? Just getting his anger out because he'd had a mare.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we ended up. He's a Scouser as well, so we ended up fighting, and then I ended up with 35 other Scousers on my back.
Stick together, don't they?
But he's a top lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's top man.
He's a top lad. I've got a lot of respect for him. He's a really, really good player, and he's a top captain as well. Like, he's a leader.
That's what I was going to say. Like, on the pitch, his technique and the way he deals with the ball is very good.
Yeah, because
I'm not asked about him as a captain. I just want to beat him. What's the best way around it?
I would say drag him in and then try and spin him behind, or you drag him in close to come short and somebody else go in behind.
Or just take a bat on the pitch and then
that's the best way to do
it. Or like a bag of Monster Munch and take his mind off it.
No, I can't. I have like visions of him just coming straight through the back of me.
He wasn't dirty, was he?
No,
he's quite strong. He's really intelligent.
Yeah.
No, I know
really
he's strong. Yeah.
His game reading is
like
when we played them for Grimsby against Tranmere. That was the one thing. Like, he was just there, like heading the ball. Like, you couldn't get round him. Do you know
reads the flight of it really good. And he's good. So what? Obviously, we give you a bit of time to think about it. What's your best memory in football?
I'd say earlier days, obviously signing for Derby. I'll always remember the phone call when I got it. Obviously, getting promoted with Ilkeston, going to Derby. So that's obviously up there at the beginning, and then the Wembley final with Rotherham from League One was pretty special. Like,
class.
Was that first or second or third time you played?
That was 1 out of 2. Yeah, first time. But
have you won both games at Wembley?
Yeah,
100% record.
That's very good.
That's
very
good
stat to have.
It was funny because we, at half time of that game, we were obviously 2-0 down, and one of the lads playing against Leyton Orient, I can't remember who it was, they were walking in discussing and laughing about the nightclub that they were going to that night.
Oh no, error. It's like when you're playing cards and you think you've won and you touch the money.
So yeah,
can't do it. It is a guy off the ball.
Exactly that.
That's another.
That's bad. That.
Yeah. So they thought they'd won it.
Obviously one of the lads heard them talking, like buzzing, that they thought they were going to win the game, and then it was a weird.
Did he come in the dressing room and say, "Listen, what I?"
He told the lads, but on the pitch when we were waiting for the whistle or when we were walking out. But for the first 14 minutes out of 15 at half time, literally nobody said one word. So no one said a thing.
No
Not
inspirational words from
No.
Steve.
Someone's like, better say something. Yeah.
No, Steve Evans didn't say anything. Assistant, none of the players. We just sat there for like.
Did you think you'd lost?
Oh yeah, everyone's head had like kind of had gone. Like no one really knew. Because obviously we worked all season to get to that point. 2-0 down at half time. So.
Did you get a quick goal after half time?
Yeah, it was about 55, and then obviously Alex Ravel scored that ridiculous goal when Steve runs up the touchline.
Is that the one? Yeah,
his belly out.
That's class.
So yeah, that was definitely, that day was was up there.
Right, we're good. We discussed it. We tried to do like a crisp 11.
We might have to ask.
Why don't we do it?
Yeah.
So we'll start off. So anybody who's can put any suggestions in. So I went for. Well, you might have gone for it. Ali McCoy's. Nice. What other one?
What was it?
So we're going to go crisp 11, right? So any listeners, we want you to tweet in with some suggestions.
What was the one we got before? Crisp.
We got Ben Pringle, obviously.
Yeah.
Ben Pringle.
Ben Pringle's captain. Yeah. Ali McCoy's
Wembley record.
Yeah.
Ali McCoy's.
Crisp Kirkland. Get him in.
Could I go for any crisp? Any crisp?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, I've put Aloys McCoy. That's a car one. Ali McCoy's.
Trying to think now.
Who we gone? Crisp
Kirkland. And there was
another one.
Ian Walker's.
Yeah, nice.
Ian Walker's.
Yeah.
Well, did you not go
Sultan Lineker?
Any others?
And then
come on, Ben.
In bed last.
I'm trying to think. I need a good 20 minutes.
You must have had these thrown at you through your life.
Not recently, to be honest.
Aaron Wan Basnackerjack.
Yeah, that works.
It is. Get it down.
One Snackerjacks.
Wan Basnackerjack. Get it in. I'm just trying to think.
Go on then. I'll have that one.
What did you say? I was like crisp 11, and he went Peter Monster Munch. I was like, who the fuck's that?
He went, who does he play for? I was like, made it up. Right, so anybody you can think of some, tweet in.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
We'll try and get a crisp 11 for you next week, and we'll stick it out on Twitter.
Nice.
Ben Pringle, captain. Let me just put a little captain by your name.
Cheers, mate.
Keeper sorted. We just need a.
Yeah, we could even go 7-aside if we're struggling, but I think we'll get 11.
Yeah,
should get 11.
Yeah, about Smokey Beckham.
Nice.
Yeah.
Smokey Beckham.
He can go right wing.
Smokey Beckham. I like it. Oh, how do you spell Beckham? There you go. Right, best player you've ever played with?
Might have to whittle it down to a few, to be fair. When I was at West Brom, Carney was there.
No wank now.
Yeah.
Carney.
What a guy.
He was unbelievable.
Serious footballer.
I always remember. Do you remember the goal where he was on the goal line and he like flicked it over his own head and the defender's head and then bent it in the far corner? Can you remember that goal?
No.
Against Chelsea, wasn't it?
I don't know. I'll get it.
It might have been Tottenham.
For Arsenal.
Yeah,
I think it was Tottenham.
Didn't he have like size 16 feet?
That's what I was going to say. Like we used to play 5-a-sides in the gym, and he would just be like, his feet would be everywhere, like
toe pecking everywhere,
all kinds of distances and stuff.
Thing is, though, right? I'm going to put it out there, and I know everybody would be thinking exactly the same as me. If his feet are 16, size 16.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm going to say.
Well, it's not true because I'm size 11 and I'm.
It's
a load of shit.
But I can't see him having a tiny. It's got to be massive.
Yeah.
Did you ever see it?
Can't remember.
Well, obviously not that memorable if you can't remember.
Yeah, you're right. You'd remember it if it was up there, wouldn't you? But no.
If it was up there,
you know.
I just hasn't even seen it.
Up there with others.
Bloody hell! I thought we did something else then.
Not literally up there.
Jesus.
Definitely remember it if that's the case.
Any others?
Tom Kearney definitely, Fulham, and Scott Parker as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott Parker, yeah.
Some
what
good
player
players
he
there,
was.
aren't
Yeah.
Forget he was there.
Yeah.
Carney, what a shout that is.
Yeah, it's a great shout.
Very good.
Well, you've had it from like I say, I'd love young footballers to listen to stuff like this because, like I say, you have the knockback. Well, you have the what's the word?
You have a few though.
Yeah, you have the excitement of going to West Brom. Then you get the knockback of being released, drop down to Ilkeston, then get another unbelievable move. But then even as a pro, obviously you've done really well and you're flying, but you've also had to be like mega mentally strong, especially the Rotherham days, and to come back from an hour from being released and trying to find another club to kicking on, winning the league and getting in Team of the year after. It's just like pretty inspirational. That's why obviously we want young lads and young footballers and just anyone in life really, just when you listen to stuff like that, like
it's only going to help you in the rest of your career as well,
tough, in everything, like whether it's a normal job or it's football or it's another sport, you've just got to believe in yourself and hang in there, haven't you? And just like say, when you said that you was out of favour, and one thing that stuck in my mind, you said you sulked for a week or two, which everyone does, you're human, you can't help it, can you? But then you thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go in and I'm going to train every single day for 4 months and give the manager or my boss at work or whatever no excuse, and I'm going to give myself the best chance. And like that kind of stuck in my head.
Yeah, I think but even the top players now, like you look at Gareth Bale, situations like that, and Danny Drinkwater, who was at Chelsea last year, didn't play at all. Like, even when you're on X amount a week, those mental problems or thoughts will still be there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, Gareth Bale, is like obviously you've seen all the media stuff. Zidane wants you out. Zidane was probably Bale's absolute hero. Now he's his manager, and now he don't want him for whatever reason. But then he went and played, scored, done really well. So
and did he still not want him?
Well, no, like I think his time's up anyway. But for Gareth Bale to still go out there and perform and to score, obviously he don't need to put himself in the shop window. But do you know what I mean? To be mentally tough, he could quite easily gone, do you know what, Gaffer, I've got a bit of a tight hamstring. Like, you treat me like that, I'm not gonna. But he hasn't done. I think that's how the top players become the top players.
Yeah, I think, like you say, even at the top levels, regardless of what level it is, if you're having those type of problems where you're not playing, like, regardless of how much
doesn't matter if you're on £100 or 100 grand, does it?
At Ilkeston, I'm driving down thinking I'm on basically nothing because I'm spending it all on petrol
and hair dye
and bookings. And if I could just be on X amount a week playing in a championships side, I'd have no worries. And then obviously I got to that point, had 4 managers in 5 months, I wasn't playing, I didn't have anywhere to live, trying to. Do you know what I mean?
Still got them same worries, haven't you?
You're still thinking, I really want to be playing. If only I can get to that next.
That's like what you live by.
I'm going to mention it again. This is what I live by, right? And I mentioned it to Jordan, and he's obviously just went right over his head. But I said a lot of people in life, they complain all the time and don't actually realise what they've actually got. And I said I live by this, mate. I met a guy who complained about having no shoes until he met a guy who had no feet. Do you get what I mean? Do you know what his response was?
Go on.
Why the fuck would he need shoes if he's got no feet?
He's thinking the same thing as me. How shit is that?
I was like, Jordan, you're not getting it.
Yeah, no.
That's shit,
I understand it, yeah. Well, I obviously know why you said that as well.
Thank you.
I like it though.
Thanks.
But
so there you go.
No, I think I've always been like resilient. Like that's kind of one of my. Obviously, being ginger in school, you have to be mentally strong for everything that comes at you. So that started me off, and then, like I say, set me up for.
And I like how you're embracing the ginger now.
Yeah,
no more dye.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Ginger's the future, I've been told.
Yeah, I mean, when I was first starting out, like, kind of had it in my head, like, you can't be ginger, like. This was before. This is like.
Well, you are football if you do.
Yeah, but like this was before Ed Sheeran came on the scene. Like, kind of helped us out a little bit. So I was dyeing it white, like long hair. It was
Your next club, you've got to do an Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
When you go.
Yeah, that's the obvious one, isn't it? To be fair.
I'm in love with the shit.
What's going on here?
Yeah, decent.
I could do Ed all day.
Might get you in.
What? Cut that out. I can do Ed all day.
So,
I didn't mean that.
So what's the plan for you? Are you in training?
Tomorrow, yeah, just keeping fit and waiting until something comes up. Yeah.
So you're trying to find a club, trying to get a deal.
Yeah, I think, like I say, I'm training with the team now. And just
how old are you now?
30.
30. So you still got, you still got plenty of years, haven't you?
And you don't look 30. So if people are watching you, they don't think, he's too old. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, thank you.
Yeah, but just look on Wikipedia and you find out.
Yeah, you probably won't. It's
no, you probably won't. 21 on Wikipedia.
It says you're 5'9". Is that right?
With dark hair.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mate, it's like I say, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Very interesting.
Yeah, no,
really good.
Thanks for having me.
The ups and the downs.
Well, I hope you find a club.
Yeah, cheers.
I look forward to
seeing
you play.
Have you heard of Altrincham?
I have, yeah.
We'll have you down there, pal.
Cool.
No worries.
You can go back to 125
Whoa, mate. You'll be second highest player after me.
The only thing is, you would have to play with Jordan.
No, I don't think you will at the minute.
No.
Oh no, you're on the bench. It's a poor situation when you're on the bench in it for Alter. You need to step up. You need to get in the gym.
It's a big club.
4 weeks, no day off. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Well,
there you go.
the thing is,
Andy Payton.
Mate,
how many times have you trained this week? How much effort have you put in this week?
I've been working all week, mate.
It's no excuse, is it? You don't work at nights, do you?
I was in my thingy before, building an Apex all morning.
You should be on that back street there playing Wally with yourself.
Go on, Peyton, lad. How's he getting on? Does anyone know how he's doing?
Played 4, lost 4.
Is it?
No, I don't know.
Long ball, gas tank.
Long ball. Chase that.
So yeah, gas tank will have you.
Mate, absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Ben Pringle, thanks very much. And if you do think of a crisp 11 to add to us, tweet into us.
Yeah, I'll have a think when I go home.
Nice one.
Cool.
Thanks, Jordan.
All the best, mate.
Thanks, pal. Thanks.
Cheers.
Thanks, Tash.
It was worse last week, wasn't it?
Oh, it let it. Horrible.
Right, we need to cut that.